be dancing in the streets, dancing at his feet, dancing in the streets of gold.
Welcome to Newscasting Ancient Times. On behalf of the LAMB network, I'm here with Mark David Smith to bring you Brit Hudishaw accounts as though they happened today.
Welcome, everybody. I trust your week has been blessed and you've been a blessing to everyone you've come in contact with.
Once again, it's been over 3 weeks now since we've heard from the LAMB network's own news consultant. He's been embedded within a group of traveling evangels. Does it seem to you, Mark, that our embedded reporter is taking longer and longer to bring us these reports concerning our wandering Messiah like leader or healer and wizard?
Yeah, I know. That's kind of a hard one to utter, isn't it? Yes, Sandy, 3 weeks. Lab's embedded reporter, man, it's all I can do not to call him a spy.
I know, I thought the same thing, but refrained, obviously a trait you don't have there, Mr. Smith.
That's right. Like I said, it was all I could do not to say spy.
And yet you did.
That's right. Well, since the last 2 reports have both been around 3 weeks, between reports of our wandering, traveling entourage of misfits,
Misfits, and I thought I might be giving them too hard of time.
yeah, well, it sounds right to me. Think about it, Sandy. Misfits. Fits. These people who started out as 4, then their leader, Yeshua, gathered even more men to act as his Talmudim. Then as they traveled across country, people from towns and villages, they went through, just kind of seeped their way in amongst the building of a company of groupies, so to say.
So what you're saying is that these misfits who don't normally fit into the norms of society are a draw to people who do fit into society.
That's right. Yes, exactly. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Misfits.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So what I'm reading here, and I forgot to get my papers, but what I'm reading, because I'd already read over it, is that our delightful misfits are back on the water.
That's right. A couple of months ago, we brought you a story about how Yeshua was attending a crowd. The horde grew to the point that they were overcrowded. Yeshua and impelled him to get into one of the fishermen's boats. Yeah. As Yeshua preached to the crowd from the boat, his Talmudim caught a massive amount of fish and brought them into their boats, causing them to leave and sell their fish unexpectedly.
Of course, what a drama. If these reports keep adding up as they are, we're going to end up with an historical novel to read. Who knows? It might become a book we can pass down to our kids.
So now, yes, it appears that Yeshua and his associates have found themselves in a stormy predicament.
Stormy predicament. I love it. Here's the official report from our embedded informant.
First, he's an embedded reporter.
That's right.
Then he's a spy. Now he's an informant.
Yeah, can you tell I watch a lot of spy movies? Huh? Do any of those terms not fit? Because I can come up with a multitude of nouns to help your understanding of just what our guy does in the field.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time.
And it won't be the last. I like spy. I wanted to be a spy one time, but I digress, believe it or not. Here's the official report from our field agent. Apparently, the group was finishing up a 2-day teaching session when it was revealed that Yeshua had a traveling plan that none of his Talmudim knew anything about. After finishing his last session, Yeshua said, "Let's cross to the other side of the lake." So leaving the crowd behind and extremely exhausted, the Talmudim took him in the boat just as he was, because most of the followers still wanted to be where Yeshua was and hear every word he spoke. Many other boats packed with people were following along with them. These people, Yeshua and his Talmudim, were all very tired. Without warning, a furious windstorm arose and the waves broke over all the boats, so that they were all close to being swamped. The boat began to fill up with water, putting them in great danger. Sandy?
But Yeshua was in the stern of the boat. That's the back of the boat, on a cushion, fast asleep. They woke Yeshua and said to him, "Rabbi, doesn't it matter to you that we're about to be killed? Help! We're about to die." Yeshua woke, rebuked the wind, and said to the waves, "Quiet, be still." The wind subsided and there was a dead calm. Yeshua then said to them, "Why are you afraid? Have you no trust even now?" But they were terrified and asked each other, "Who can this be that even the wind and the waves obey him?"
Yeah, and this report is from Lamb's embedded mole, huh? Sandy, in his report, do you hear any kind of, acclamation to believing this man Yeshua is who the people are saying he is? An actual Messiah?
Well, we've only received a few reports from this embedded reporter, and especially since the reports are so far apart, it's hard for me to get a read on this guy, whomever he is. Since I've never met him and I don't know his character at this point, I don't think so. But to tell you the truth, I'm not reading anything into this particular report. The report itself sounds pretty straightforward with the fact and only the facts. This is what happened, and this is how the people responded to what happened. That, in my opinion, is good reporting.
I agree.
So once again, and based on the standalone report, in answer to your question, no, I do not think so far he's been compromised, and that is what you're asking, right?
And so sensibly reasoned out too, Sandy.
Mm-hmm.
So well said.
I've talked to our scheduler, and they know that if Yeshua and his people come back to Jerusalem soon, I want to go out and cover that story as it takes place.
Yeah, I'd like to too. Yeah, at the very least, meet this Yeshua character. The problem is that Yeshua is not out there causing havoc. There's not always a story in him just walking down the street. Yet, as I'm hearing myself say it, he really is kind of a story just walking down the street. People and problems follow him wherever he goes.
Well, I'm not sure I agree with all that, but Yeshua, is worthy of an interview at the very least. And I think hearing his stories might be as fascinating as the man himself.
Don't you mean to say as the Messiah himself?
As you like to say, Mark, the jury's still out.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us for another edition of Newscasting Ancient Times.
Have a blessed day.
That music just makes me swoon.
I like it. I like the music.
Hi, Sandy Lou. How are you?
I am well. And how are you, Mr. Mark Davidson?
I am well. That's good. Yes, I am well. Wow. Life is good.
It is good.
It is good. Life is good. Life changes consistently. Changes. We have. I'm kind of excited. We have a special report I'm doing on artificial intelligence in the last third of our show, and I'm kind of excited about that. I got a lot of little things put together there, and we'll talk about it later. But
It's a good teaser. Everybody needs to stay tuned to that.
a teaser,
It's a teaser. That's exactly right. So what did you do on the 4th?
On the 4th, I watched the last of the 6 Mission Impossible movies. Number 6, because here in about 6 days, the new Mission Impossible movie comes out.
I don't think we've seen the last 3 or 4. So
Really?
John wants to, but I never want to. Yeah. John
yeah.
always wants to watch. Hey, can we do that? And I always say, no violence, no stress.
No violence, no stress. Well, there's
Yeah.
no violence in those movies.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, okay, a few people get killed. A few people may need a few band-aids. Okay.
Yeah.
It's all over. But
Well,
those are professional.
Jonathan invited us to his place for the 4th.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he had his first little get together. The family was there. Both sides of the family were there, some of us.
Uh-huh.
And then he made us hot dogs, and
Very cool.
we all brought something and sat and watched. Oh, he did this thing. See, the last time we really got together and did fireworks, it was many, many years ago. So Jonathan was a teenager. We had somebody in our congregation that always invited people out to his property in the country, because of course you can't do them in town, etc. And at that time, the men put the table out, and all the teenagers, young adult men and things, they would own the grown men, the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60-year-old men are the only ones that could be at the table. Well, this time, Jonathan brought the table out and banned his father. So it was the young men that were out there doing that. And then we were Jackie, if you remember Jackie, it's her property that we were on, that Jonathan's living on. And they live out amongst a whole bunch of people, some very wealthy people. And there were fireworks literally 360 degrees going around us, going the whole night. So the fireworks that Jonathan and the rest of the family purchased, we bought none, of course. What were minimal, because why do it? We could watch everybody else's. It literally was like there were fireworks going around us the whole. And Amariah, this was the first year I think she was going to remember it. And she was like, "Oh, the 4th of July is the best day."
Oh, whatever.
Anyway, she loved it, and that's why we were there. We were there for them, and so it was cute watching her get so excited about it. And then he hurt his foot on his new job, on his promotion. Well, it's not a new job. He's driving a forklift, and somehow he's hurt his leg. So I prayed for it, but he was limping pretty good. So
getting on and off those things.
What?
Sorry, what? I interrupted. I thought.
Oh, I just said, in the name of the Yeshua, be healed. I prayed over it, and that's what's got to happen. So,
actually, getting on and off of those big forklifts, I can picture myself doing it now. And you don't think about what you're doing. You get so used to doing something like that you don't watch yourself, or you're overconfident, and so then you do something wrong and you twist your appendages one way or the other.
Well, he's sure not sure it was all swollen, but he was excited because he worked on the 4th and he got triple overtime, so he was pretty pleased with that.
Oh,
yeah.
Very
He
good.
says, I'll work all man's holidays and get triple overtime. I have no issue. So,
Yeah, there you go. I agree. I'm with you.
yeah.
For a lack of, offending somebody, I've spent pretty much the majority of my life around the 4th of July using the expression blowing up my money. So, since somebody asked me, did you buy fireworks? Well, I'm just not into blowing up my money.
Agreed.
Because that's really just exactly what it is.
It's true.
It's like, people are going to hate me for this. It's like dogs. You've heard me say this. I don't have a problem with dogs. I love dogs. I just don't like other people's dogs, And
You don't like sugar?
And it's just
Aw.
kind of the same thing with fireworks. I don't want to spend my money buying them, but I have no problem watching them.
Agreed. Did you know one of the kids, Killian's sister, she and her boyfriend bought one firework, and I'm granted there was literally a handful of fireworks that were purchased amongst the kids, so they didn't buy many. But one that she bought was $100.
What for
One
what?
firework. One.
Yeah.
$100.
Yeah. Okay.
John says he thinks this possibly could be the last 4th we get to celebrate
Oh
as
yeah.
a nation. Yep.
That's what?
As a nation.
Okay. Well, that's interesting.
Yep.
And I need to go back to this, but I do have the cry wolf syndrome. I've spent many, many, many years with people that we know that have said, "Oh, this is going to happen. Get prepared. This is going to happen. Get prepared. This is going to happen." Not exact dates, but it's within.
Oh
blah,
yeah.
blah, blah.
Yeah.
And after a while, anybody says, okay, this might be the last one, because of whatever, immediately I go into cry wolf.
Well, I agree. And he's not saying he's saying because of what has been done with our Constitution
I get
already,
it. I know.
etc. And
I know.
let all of keep bringing people into office. I know I'm searching for words.
I know.
And
We don't have to-
the things that are just happening is even right now. He's been doing this series on cancer, how to get rid of it naturally, and the doctors that have presented it, 4 of them that presented all this information. 4 of them are no longer with us all of a sudden.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I understand.
But on a lighter note,
Yeah.
is there anything that you can think of that people generally look stupid doing, or maybe you look silly doing, or me, or something else? Are there anything that falls into that category?
No.
I'll say this: chasing after something that's blowing away by the wind. I have done that so many times, and I sit there and I try to stomp and I catch, and then I have to go a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and there's across the parking lot, and people are all around, and I'm chasing this little piece of paper, usually a receipt or something, and that looks pretty silly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's and the whole time you're doing it, that there are people watching and you look silly.
Yeah.
And that, and that even causes you to be even more self-aware of every step you take and how you're going to reach for it or how you're going to stomp on it or whatever like that. And with me, it's like once I got it, I'd probably look around at all the people and say, "So you've never done this?"
Exactly. Or what? Here's another one. What about getting out of the back seat of a 2-door car? That's very awkward and uncomfortable and
trying to remember the last time I was in a 2-door car. That's interesting.
John used to have a teal car when I married him. That's what he was driving. It was a teal Olds of something. and it was two-door, the most unpractical car you could ever purchase. And getting out of the back seat of that car was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, I want to go back to the fireworks.
okay, go to the
I was
fireworks.
going to respond to you. You know, we're all very good at rabbi trails, so you know we've gotten off on 14 different things here. But so now, have you heard? And once again, kind of even going to AI, that now they're doing drone fireworks. Have you heard about this?
No.
No, they are. They've been doing it for a couple of years in some cities. They are going away from fireworks 100%, and now they have these big sheets that have multiple drones attached to this.
It's a movie.
Like a transparent type sheet, and the drones bring it up in the sky, and then all of a sudden you see these lights, and they create pictures, and they create, you know, all kinds of, like the Liberty Bell and the flag and all of this kind of stuff instead of fireworks, which means you get none of the boom sound and none of the anything else on there. You only get these things that are flying up. It's like almost like watching
A movie.
transparent drive-in theater in the sky.
Yeah.
And I hadn't thought of that, but it's AI technology. It's something.
The rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air.
That's
I want to hear
right.
the boom
I
at not
know.
at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning.
I agree.
I don't want all this AI.
I know.
It's not better. It's not better.
I know. So I've seen video of, you know, and there's certain cities, I guess, because it costs like 3 times as much to put on the drone display than it does to send up fireworks. So, in other words, a town that would spend $7,000 on fireworks now has to spend $20,000 for this drone display.
And who is selling the drones and this technology? Because you go where the money is.
Sure.
So sorry, I don't want it.
Yeah, I agree.
So in between the drones, searching people out, spying, spreading things,
Yeah.
we're going to have a movie. We're going to do a movie in the sky.
I just thought of something. What would be good is to go ahead and get the thing up with the drone technology and everything going on, then send up a bunch of fireworks to blow it.
Well, yes, or use it like skeet.
Or what?
Skeet. The drones are skeet.
Oh, that would be great. That would be good. Anyway, I watch a lot of those kind of movies where they do something and then somebody else sends something to blow it up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And Sylvester Stallone is coming out with the Expendable 4.
Never saw 1, 2, or 3.
Oh,
It's 77 today, by the way.
Sandy, if you look up gratuitous violence in the dictionary, it says the Expendables movies.
Oh. So I may not need to go watch those movies.
The ultimate in gratuitous violence.
Gratuitous violence. As I said, he's 77 years old today, this very day. Yep.
Oh, is he really? Is
Yep.
it Sylvester Stallone's birthday, 77?
Yep.
Well, let me tell you, you know me well enough to know that Sylvester Stallone is by far one of my favorites. As a matter of fact, I was going to name my daughter, if she was a boy, I was going to name her Sylvester. Sylvester Dillon is what I was going to name. If she was a boy, well, even if she was a girl, I was going to name her that, but my wife wouldn't let me do it. And once Sarah found out that she could have been named Sylvester Dillon, she said, well, then people could have called me Silly Dilly.
Okay,
Anyway,
it's a good
no,
thing.
let me finish. Let me finish
Okay.
about Sylvester Stallone. Hold that thought. We got a few minutes, 5 minutes here. So Sylvester Stallone lives in California. He's been married to the same wife for over 40 years, and they have 3 daughters that are in their early 20s or 20.
Wow, they were late having kids.
I know, but now he's doing a reality show of him, his wife, and the 3 daughters. And I just finished this reality show, and quite honestly, it was a lot of fun. I
Oh,
mean, you really have to like Sylvester Stallone and all that anyway, which he has a great personality, But his daughters and his wife absolutely adore him. I mean, they adore him. So you could go on to, I may even have it up here. You could go on, The Family Stallone is the name of it. It's on Paramount if you're interested in that kind of stuff. I thought, Sylvester Stallone doing a reality show? Come on. This is ridiculous. But it works. It
works.
It's real good. So, sorry. My medicine. Anyway, so it was fun to watch. But I'm sorry. Now you had something, but I interrupted.
I have no idea what it was. It's okay.
I'm sorry. You
It's
need
all
to know
good.
that.
It wasn't important.
Anyway, it was fun. There's all kinds. He's 77 today, or
77 today, unless I looked at. No, I thought it said today. I was looking at
Yeah.
a report before the show. I always try to look at some things like that to find some little pieces of information for this segment of the show to make it a little lighthearted. And I'm trying to remember what I was going to say.
You need a little notepad laying next to you where you take.
I do, but my
I-
table, since we're facing this way instead of back
Yeah.
there, I don't really have a table, and so there would be no place to write it unless I did it on the screen itself, maybe. Yeah. And right now, my living room, I have 100 onions, at least a little more maybe, that I harvested, and they need to cure for 2 to 4 weeks with a fan on top of them in an area, and I don't have an area, so guess where they are? They're in the middle of my living room floor, airing out for 2 to 4 weeks. So you can't even, it's onions everywhere. So I will have onions for quite some time once they're cured properly, but my little garden, over 100 onions. Mhm.
Oh, really? I'm trying to think. I know she has a section out there. Of course, now that she's gone, I'm watering everything. She has a section, pretty good section of a whole bunch of onions coming. I can see the stalks. So should I be harvesting them?
If the stalks get wimpy like this at the bottom
Yeah.
and weak where they attach to the ground, if it gets wimpy, then it's time.
Oh, okay. Now I'll go check them.
If
We've
it's
had-
still stiff and all that, then they're not ready yet. But in general, this is about the time to harvest onions. In general, not everybody planted them at the same time. So
Okay.
that's how you check them. If you have a gardening question, I might have an answer.
Oh, you have an answer whether or not it's right or wrong.
Well, that's true. That's true. So you can put all the onions in the middle of your floor like me. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
Oh my.
So you just buy a bigger house, Andy. Come on. We're Americans. We need to be upgrading, updating our everything about us. We're Americans,
No.
right? It's just, well, that's the way the rest of the world thinks of us. So why not just play
But
into
you want to know something? The rest of the world also used to think we're all cowboys. They don't know the truth of the elite and the rich give the rest of Americans a bad name because the majority of the American people are conservative, family oriented people, unless you go to the cities, and that are honest, good, hardworking people that just are trying to make it.
and we're not all cowboys.
We're not all cowboys.
Oh, okay.
No. I pray my husband does what you've done and actually waters the garden, because I have to leave for Oklahoma for a few days so my granddaughter can be with her cousins
Uh-huh.
and have a good time. So
I am, unless it rains, I get out there every morning and go water all of it and ask her questions and all of her house plants and
do you sing to him
sing to them.
or talk to him?
All right, we're ready for the next segment of the show here, I think.
Give me a break. John has one more job he has to do besides water if it doesn't rain. He needs to go out, and you have to get really up close and personal, get on your knees and look at each plant, especially the tomatoes, for any touch of yellow or spot, and cut them off.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope he does it. We'll see. I just don't want to come back and
I think next year, as soon as you start planting everything and getting it ready, we need to do a new show, and you can be a gardening show and do an hour a day in your garden.
I wouldn't do an hour a day, but I would love to do something like that was
I would love for you
short,
to.
like 30 minutes max.
Yeah, we've tried it. It didn't work, but anyway, here we go. There we go. All right, you ready to go? You ready to go?
I am ready if you're ready.
I'm
I'm ready for whatever.
All right, here we go.
We'll be dancing in the streets, dancing at his feet, dancing in the streets of gold. We'll be dancing in the streets, dancing at his feet.
Well, today we're going to talk about something that you may or may not have much of in your life. It's laughter. Laughter. Is it important? I know when you watch those British television shows that laughter is just considered something you should not do. I think of Pride and Prejudice, and they tell Elizabeth that laughter is a bad trait that she and her family must enjoy. But is that really true? No, actually not. Because did you know that there's actually a biblical reason why laughter feels so good? Let's go to Romans 14:17, where it says, "For the kingdom of God is not a matter of eating and drinking, but of righteousness and peace and joy in the Ruach HaKodesh," the Holy Spirit. Righteousness, peace, and joy. Those are the three biggies right there in Yah's kingdom. Laughter is an expression of joy, which means if you're laughing, if you're cracking up, if you're rolling on the floor, that's a godly trait. It's a good thing. So there's a reason that laughter is uplifting. Yah commands us to be full of joy, and part of the fruit of joy is laughter, part of it. So when you are going through something tough, when things doesn't seem like there's a reason to laugh, you might find that laughter is actually what will comfort you. It will change things. It will shift the atmosphere around you. It will change your heart and your attitude. Sometimes circumstances are riddled with pain, and everything seems to be going wrong and nothing is funny, but the medicine for that is laughter. Blazing Torch says, "He who sits in heaven laughs." Psalms 2:4. We're going to talk about that here in a few minutes. But laughter, did you ever think about that as part of the solution to changing the way you feel? Because when you feel defeated, when you feel frustrated, or anything else like that, levity is part of the answer. Even if you have to reach way back and remember something old, something from a long time ago that's funny, do it. Be encouraged, do it. Find a reason to laugh, because Yahweh tells us that the joy of the Lord is our strength. And if you've lived very long, his word is true. It does not return void. So obviously that's a true statement. So have you been strengthened by joy and laughed in situations that aren't especially funny? I have. And maybe it wasn't even appropriate to laugh at the time, or maybe it was. Maybe laughter is the answer. And we just too often like to focus in and zero in on the problem and how how you might feel overcome by it or overwhelmed by it, and focus on that instead of saying, hey, let's laugh a little. It makes me think of John's show, that Let Us Reason Together, his version of it on Mondays. When he's there, he does the shower thoughts, and he does the news headlines. And I've heard from people, I just the silliness. I want to tune in after the silliness. And in fact, the silliness is really the good thing that's going to set your day, start your day with a little bit of laughter, a little bit of levity, and it's going to change the way you view the rest of the day. So maybe it's a good thing. We shouldn't push aside, well, I just want godly facts and godly Torah-based things. It's 24/7. That's not really what the word says, is it? The joy of the Lord is your strength. Yes, joy. Find joy. So if you're respecting and honoring the sanctity of the moment because it seems to be what's in style, maybe the real thing that you need to be doing is summoning a little bit of lighthearted expression of Yah, which is laughter. Romans 15:13 says, may the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing, so that by the power of the Ruach HaKodesh, you may abound in hope. By the power of the Spirit, you may abound in hope. Psalms 126:2 says, our mouths were filled with laughter and our tongues with songs of joy. And then, as Blazing Torch gave us already, he who sits in the heavens shall laugh. Yahweh shall hold them in derision. So why do we not very often think of Yah laughing? Because in Psalm 2, it tells us of a special reason why Yah laughs, because man thinks he can work against him. It's like, really? Really? You think you're going to come around and break my plan, break my purposes? But Yah laughs. The Almighty looks and says, you think you have hope of success coming against me, Yahweh, Elohim? Psalm 2:1-3 says, why do the nations rage and the people plot in vain? The kings of the earth set themselves up, and the rulers take counsel together against Yahweh and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bonds in pieces and cast their cords from us. That's what precedes that. The nations plan and plot. Those in power plan and plot, but it's going to come to nothing. That's the eventual outcome. So what about the bride? Is a bride supposed to laugh? Well, Proverbs 31:25 says, strength and dignity are her clothing, and she laughs at the time to come. When I'm talking about the bride, folks, I'm talking about everybody who desires to be with Yahweh as their bridegroom. That's me. That's you, probably. So let's look at this phrase in the Hebrew, Yom Achron atashek layom acharon. Well, it literally means she laughs in the latter days, or she laughs at a day behind. That's the literal translation. And it's a prophetic text about role of restoration and things like that. This is the warrior bride, and she's prepared physically and spiritually for when? The days ahead. Are you prepared physically and spiritually for the days ahead? Well, the bride is supposed to be. She's supposed to be prepared for the last days. And there are many idioms in all of this phrasing, but let's just break a few apart for a minute, or at least one. That first tashach, or sachak, means to laugh, to mock, to play, and it's a verb. And if you think about laughter, you're immediately going to go back to Isaac, and you're going to think about the laughter of Sarai, or you may think about even Rebecca, as Rebecca and Isaac are together, and it's very intimate. It's very personal. This kind of laughter, it has a purpose to it. The warrior bride doesn't smile at the things that are happening. You're supposed to laugh. So we hear of these bad reports and things happening all around us, and people in control that shouldn't be in control, and things going awry. What are we supposed to do? Cower and fear? No, we're supposed to laugh. Really? You think you're going to come against my Yah? Greater is he. Greater is he. He is greater than you and your plans and your circumstances. So the bride is not supposed to walk around with anxiety, with worry. She's supposed to trust Yahweh because he's got it. Yeah, things are going to happen. He already wrote about it in his word. He said things are going to happen, but we don't fret and worry. We laugh because we know who's in charge. because we know Yah's capabilities. We trust in him. So while everybody else is worrying about their future, worrying about this, worrying about that, we should have confidence and reliance upon our King, our Yah, because there's none like him. And we should be able to laugh with joy because restoration is coming, because victory has already been won. So let's look at this word a heart real quick. It's not future, but a heart. So future isn't quite right because it comes from the Hebrew root aharit and aharon. And this is a picture of what is behind and what tarries and what's delayed. So Hebrew thought, and I've told you this before, human beings, we're not supposed to face ahead towards the future. When we're looking, we don't look ahead. We are positioned so that we are looking behind toward what has already occurred, because that's the testimony we've heard. We've seen Yah do great things, and we have the word of what he's done for one, he'll do for another, because his word does not return void. Those testimonies bring us faith, and we're looking at behind because we clearly know the answer from the experiences that we and others have had, that he is the victor, that he is in control, that he laughs at those that would plot against him. So even the future, even if we can't see it, it doesn't matter to us. It's not concerning to us, because Yah knows where we're going. We're simply facing him and looking at him and looking at all the things he's done and knowing that he's going to guide us along the rest of the way, because we don't know better. We sure don't know what we're doing. But the fact is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whatever's happening, because we have this clear record of what Yah has done for you and me, for Israel, for so many in the past. And that should build up our faith and our hope, so that we do not worry and do not fret over what is coming, because we're looking at what he's already done. So this warrior bride laughs at what the threat is. We laugh at the threat of tomorrow, because we know who do we know? The God of yesterday and today and forever. So our confidence, it faces backwards. We look at all Yah has delayed and deferred, because he's protected us even when we didn't even know it. And we trust his history. We trust him because we are not to fear. How many times does the word say, fear not, fear not? We don't fear. We don't fear at all. So what are the benefits of a good laugh? Well, we can look at physical. I didn't this time around, but there are many physical benefits that scientifically you could look at. But if you will make yourself laugh at least a little bit a day, it's going to be healing, because we know laughter is healing. It's so important. It is the outward evidence of joy and confidence that we know he's got us, that wherever we're going, he's got us. We're going to look behind and look at the testimony and laugh at those who would try to plot against him in his ways. It's that outward evidence of joy. Do we have it? Do you have it? Do I have it? Do I have it as much as I need to? No, I don't. I need to work on that, because the joy of Yahweh can ease any emotional or even physical pain that you're walking out. It can bring satisfaction. It's like this internal jogging, because you're bringing health to your body and life. Laughter improves both your emotional and your mental health. It lifts your spirits. It removes worry. And have a Holy Spirit party. It's almost impossible to be anxious, to be worrying and laughing at the same time. Try it. Think about something and you're trying to worry and then laugh. It doesn't work. It's not going to work for you. I don't think. It'd be pretty difficult. But this is why we should express joy and laughter any chance we get, because Yah has given us this ability to laugh for a reason and a purpose. For a reason and a purpose. And it may seem like this little thing, but it's vitally important when we're at war, when we're in a battle against stress and anxiety and fear and worry and all that's happening around us, because it's not pretty. The news reports aren't pretty, but it doesn't matter. What you hear happening all around us to the world, not just in your neighborhood, wherever it is, it's not necessarily pretty, but we don't fear. We don't worry. We laugh at all the plans of man, because he's given us laughter. Psalm 126:2, our mouths are filled with laughter, our tongue with shouts of joy. And then they said among the nations, Yahweh has done great things for them. Yahweh has done great things for you and for me. He's going to fill our mouth with laughter and your lips with shouting. How many times have you let out a good shout recently? That's pretty comforting too. Yeah. laughter and shouting. That's Job 8:21. And it's supposed to be part of our lives. Proverbs 17:22, a joyful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. So remember, laughter is good medicine. A joyful heart is good medicine because it lifts our spirit, improves our health mentally and emotionally and our physical health, and it causes the stress to just go away. It's his weapon against stress. So you're stressed out, you're worrying and fretting. What's the weapon? Joy, laughter, manifested from that joy. When was the last time you really, really, really laughed? Like belly roll laugh, like hurting your guts laugh. When was the last time? Maybe it was too long ago. Maybe we need to all work on that and have a good laugh, because after a laughter, sometimes you just feel clean and refreshed. Everything's been reset and the issues of the day seem to pass away. And instead, if you're not laughing, your spirit, your soul's like this dusty closet, needs some fresh air, needs a little laughter. So air it out, laugh a little. Doesn't find something to laugh about. Maybe it's from the old stuff. I don't know, but find a reason. And you're going to be amazed at how different you feel and how your view changes when you laugh at the things to come, the latter days, the days ahead, because Yah's got you. You trust him completely. So when the money's not there, you laugh. Yah has a plan. When you're working and praying for families to come to know him, you laugh at the enemy's plan, because Yah's got you and you stand on his promises. When you have a bad report physically, you laugh a little bit because his word is true and it does not return void, because by the stripes of Yeshua, you have been healed, made whole, set free. We could make a list. So you lost your job, laugh. Hey, Yah has a better one. He opens one, closes one door, opens another. Maybe he's repositioning you for a reason and a purpose. Whatever the case may be, laugh a little, trust in him. It's going to change everything. And that's my hope and my prayer for you this day. Let's fill our lives with laughter. Mark.
Shouts of joy
And victory.
Found in the tent in the righteous of the Lord.
Shouts
Shouts
of-
of joy. And
I know. I have a really complicated dance for that too.
victory.
Shouts of joy and victory for him. Yeah. Yeah.
That's an old one, boy.
It's an old one, but it's still one that, I mean,
Yeah, you remember those
you're going to
days?
be lifted up when you sing it for sure. And if you're dancing it, you're going to be exhausted. So,
Remember those days, though? Remember back in the days when we were acclimating into the Messianic lifestyle, and this was all new and fun and joyful. You know, I do. That is my memories of acclimating into the Messianic lifestyle was joy. It was something that was exciting, and it was new, and we were learning and everything. Now it's just a lifestyle. It's just a lifestyle. But the joy to me is there. It may not be an exciting joy like it was back in the beginning, you know, because it's you know, it's still there, but now it's like with any lifestyle, you just get used to it, and this is what we do, and this is who we are, and that's how we should be, you know. But joy, it almost, yeah, like you were talking about, you can generate joy, I guess. There are certain things, there are triggers, you know, to joy and things like that, but everybody's different. You know, we were talking earlier about a dry sense of humor and what we, you know, laugh at, and what you know, like you were talking about your dad made you laugh, and you know, that type of thing. And but yet there are people that are very serious, and those are the funniest. Those are the funnest people to make fun of, are the people that are serious, that won't laugh, that won't have fun with it. They don't get humor or whatever like that. So now you have to turn around and make fun of them. So anyway, lots of ways to look at it. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, one of my favorite times when I find the most laughter is the season of our joy. This was another name for the Feast of Tabernacles, which is another name for Sukkot.
Right.
And when I look back, and this, folks, this is literally the truest statement I can tell you, is from the moment I met Mr. Mark David Smith, was at Sukkot. And you bring such joy to my heart. You make me laugh. And I can remember all through Sukkot, even now, you make my heart leap and laugh. And my roll on the floor times are oftentimes instigated during that season, during Sukkot, because of you, Mr. Smith. Yes.
Thanks. I appreciate that. It's nice to hear those words. And you've also heard Mr. Mark David Smith say several times since the beginning of 2017, which is when we started doing shows together. Gosh, this is the middle of 2023, and we started doing shows together in 2017. But I said many times, I'm only here just to make you laugh, just to make you smile. That's my whole goal on these shows, is to make you smile. I mean, it's not just you, even though I enjoy with you, but the fun, I think, to me is what makes me smile and what makes me laugh and be joyful is to find other people with my same sense of humor. Because as we were talking, not everybody has the same sense of humor. And it's that dry sense of humor. It's that dry joking around, short of, saying things that, what's the word I want to use? I can't think of it now, but, you don't want to offend somebody, but you play the field and see. Go ahead. You were going to say.
Well, I just thought of something that brings great laughter, and it really sort of sets up the season we're about to come to through Sukkot too. And that's that video. I sent it to you about you. It was banned from YouTube because of the music. It's probably Bob Dylan, I'm sure. But where you and John and James did that dance, you should just put it up there and give people a laughter and fun. Put it on Lamb Network. And
I thought about it. Matter of fact, I think it's in our segment list. Because we do fill in. If the show's not a whole hour,
so fun, and it's so good, makes me laugh. And
I know there's some good ones.
It was so good. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's John's segments on Let Us Reason Together Monday edition. He's been doing this for, I would say, even 2 or 3 years now, probably, of all his
longer than that, I think.
Headline news and shower thoughts. And of course, I made both the intros for those, which
make you laugh,
are humorous. But there are times when I'm bored. There's, I've already done everything. I'm done with this. And, so what do I do now? And as God is my witness, that sometimes the first thoughts that comes into my mind is to put on one of John's old shower thoughts or headline news or something, and watch and listen to them and have fun with them and the whole thing. That's, everybody has their own little thing that makes them laugh. Funniest home videos, America's Funniest Home Videos, by far has always been one of my all-time favorite shows. And you can still get past episodes on Hulu. And a matter of fact, Donna and I watch them quite often. We keep that in our queue so we can watch, old shows or whatever. And it's just hilarious to have something that from beginning to end is going to make you laugh. And so if you get into one of those and I hate to use the word depression because I don't even want to go there. But you get into, like with me, sometimes I get bored. Sometimes I need to just have something that's different than what I'm been doing for that day, you know. And of course, at 68, I'm semi-retired, so I can go in there and turn TV on anytime I want. But anyway, so there you go. That's the deal. That's pretty much my deal. I'm joyful all the time. There are times when something makes me mad, and sometimes I even enjoy being mad. You know, so believe it or not, can a person be mad and be happy at the same time? You know, I think so. I know so, because I like that. I usually come out of it pretty good. Anyway, so that's my spiel on it.
It's your spiel.
My spiel. That's right. All right.
Well, that's what I got. Laugh a little, everybody.
That's it.
That's-
And you know, that's all it needs to be. That's right. So
Yeah. Nothing else. Go listen to John Craig's Shower Thoughts. That'll
That's
make
right.
you laugh. If you've never done it before,
that's right.
go listen.
You know, we need to make a website with just John's stuff on it.
John's silly. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll be back here in a second. I'm going to do a little deal on artificial intelligence. And Sandy's going to come and join me, and we'll see you after this.
We'll be dancing in the streets, dancing at his feet, dancing in the streets of gold. We'll be dancing in the streets, dancing at his feet.
Hi, everybody. This is a little segment on AI. AI, the actual artificial intelligence, been around forever and ever, and all those different things. And so the definition that I found for AI, artificial intelligence, is the ability of a computer or other machine to perform those activities that are normally thought to require intelligence. Activities that are normally thought to require intelligence. You want to talk about laughter? Just reading some of these things make you laugh. It's the branch of computer science concerned with the development of machines having this ability. It's intelligence exhibited by an artificial, non-natural, man-made entity. And so we've lived with this for a very long time now, and you shouldn't be too surprised at it. But lately, it's progressing quite rapidly, and so I thought I would look at some of what other people are saying, people that have things to do with AI and that type of thing. We're going to look at a couple of things of those, but even movies for years. There was even a movie back in 2001 called AI, Artificial Intelligence. And it's a science fiction movie directed by Steven Spielberg and starring Haley Joel Osment. And the boy was a robot. It was an intelligent robot that learned. And that's what AI is all about. It learns itself. It's artificial learning is really what it is. You also had Minority Report with Tom Cruise, one of my all-time favorite movies. I, Robot with Will Smith was all about computers and robots learning themselves and advancing themselves. Even just lately, Paul McCartney came out with a report that they are now working on a new Beatles song. A new Beatles song. John Lennon's been dead for years, but Paul McCartney has taken his voice from something else, fed it into the artificial intelligence computer, and now it is generating John's voice in this new song. So there you go. It's wide open. All our phone updates, our phones are generating in new intelligence. They're learning the different things you do in your phone. It learns from that and then generates new stuff because of it. I'm now able to watch my grandson's baseball with a television app developed by AI, where I can sit in North Carolina and watch him play baseball in Oklahoma on my television. Let's see. Wix, which is the website maker that I use now, has an AI help to write and remember. So in other words, as I'm developing the website and I put in text, it now pops up with this little deal in the corner that says AI. And so you can feed it information and it will learn and develop stuff for you. Your Windows computer systems, whenever it does an update, it's pouring AI technology into your computer. Tim Cook, who is the president of Apple, in an interview from TechSpot.com, Tim Cook addresses rising interest in AI, saying more future Apple products will use it as tech companies increasingly latch into generative AI as the latest dominant trend. Apple remains suspiciously quiet on the topic. CEO Tom Cook finally commented on the technology, expressing interest without revealing any concrete plans. He says there's just several different things that he's all for monitoring. He admitted the potential is huge. He pointed out how Apple has already used AI for features within several parts of all of their different products. Let's see, I'm trying to go through here. Cook was likely referring to the controversies surrounding generative AI technologies like ChatGPT or Midjourney. Midjourney is an independent research lab exploring new mediums of thought and expanding the imaginative powers of the human species. Real quick, I want to, and I should have this together. Sorry, I didn't get this together quicker here, but let me jump over here real quick. And this is not what I wanted to do. Anyway, you go to the Midjourney website and it just fills your page with all kinds of different computer images. There's all kinds of things that Apple, all of them are working on. Bill Gates, let's jump over there real quick. I want to play this and this is taking up all my bandwidth. Uses a lot of, okay, we're going to do this. There we go. And add the stream. I'm so sorry. This is really taking up. Okay. So I'm going to play this video here. This is Bill Gates, our wonderful technology friend. And
OpenAI CEO Sam Altman told me he's a little scared about this technology. Are you scared?
Scared that a bad guy could grab it.
The White House, the administration, regulators here in the US, do you think up to speed?
Not yet.
They're not ready.
Not yet. I mean,
Why not ready?
you're going to have a politician understanding it, but how to develop a company for health applicants, for education, to review things. The government has a role to play here. They won't be the experts, but they have to be part of that discussion. And so the White House, those conversations, that's all.
Still, unlike others in the field, including
It's the good guys, and you don't pause everyone else, you're probably hurting yourself. You definitely want the good guys to have strong AI.
Can you guarantee that?
If you stop the good guys, you can guarantee it won't happen.
You've got a fake image of the Pope, fake images of President Joe Biden. At some point, if those proliferate at a much greater scale, won't that confuse people about what the truth is?
You're going to have to say, where did this come from? And
whose responsibility is that? Each
the
of
reader,
us?
the viewer.
Every person has the responsibility to question what they're looking at.
Society is going to start to say, okay, this source is more of a trusted source.
Okay, I hope you can hear me. Sorry about that. It just used up so much of my bandwidth there. I hope everybody got to see that. But there was one part, I think it spun out, is that he was talking about how it's very dangerous technology because if it gets into the wrong hands, who knows what people can do with it. Anyway, moving on. Elon Musk did an interview where he said that artificial intelligence could lead to civilization destruction, even as he remains deeply involved in the growth of AI through his many companies, including a rumored new venture. So one of the big things that is out there, and they've been working on for a while, is a thing called Chat GPT. And Musk says that he wants to create a rival to the AI offerings by tech giants, Microsoft and Google. In his interview with Carlson, Musk said, "We're going to start something which I call Truth GPT." Musk described it as a maximum truth-seeking AI that cares about understanding the universe. Hopefully there's more good than harm, Musk said. Well, immediately as soon as I read this, I'm thinking, okay, so whose truth are you searching for here? Because whose truth is it, really? I mean, it's kind of like YouTube saying, misinformation. Whose information is good? Who is it that says that truth is this or that, or information is this or that? Anyway, so the next thing I want to show you here is I've actually signed up for Chat GPT, and we're going to take a look at this right now. This is Chat GPT. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in something here, and I'm going to do this. So write a script for the Planet Chapter Newscasting Ancient Times. All right. So I write the scripts for Newscasting Ancient Times. I'm the one, I do it personally. So if we've got a computer that's going to do it here, I want you to watch this. This is just amazing. Watch this. Hello. What? What's the deal? Oh, man, come on. All right. Well, I did it earlier just to do it. Oh, here we go. Wait. New chat. Okay, I don't know. I did it earlier. So just to do a test on it. And this is amazing. It starts off with, you can actually see it when they did it. It started just typing it all in and just kept on going. So anyway, it says right here, Anchor One, Mail. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Planet Chapter, your source for historical news. I'm such and such. Anchor Two. Today we take you back in time to explore the fascinating stories and events from ancient civilizations. Anchor One. Our first story takes us to the banks of the Nile, where the mighty civilization of ancient Egypt emerged, and so on and so forth, and so on and so forth. So it literally wrote the script. You know, it's not what Sandy and I do, but it took instances from history and wrote a script based on that. And I mean, I'm sorry, but I find that absolutely fascinating that it can do this. Do I find it also quite scary? Yeah, I find it a little scary that it can do that. Chat GPT says our goal is to get external feedback in order to improve our systems and make them safer. So it says, while we have safeguards in place, the system may occasionally generate incorrect or misleading information and produce offensive or biased content. It is not intended to give advice. Anyway, so I'm going to bring Sandy back in and we're going to talk about this a little bit, but I really wish that would have. I wish that would have generated it, because I think it didn't, because they did it earlier. You know what I'm saying? So it's saying, well, you already did this. We don't have anything new for you. You know, or whatever. I don't know. But Sandy, you're muted. Anyway, it's still one of those things that I think is quite interesting.
I think that when you look at it, you know, you were talking about how they've melded John Lennon's voice as part of the song, but we've already heard that they're bringing people to court, arresting and doing things from AI generated AI generated things being said and done that never was the person themselves. And yet people, the real person is the one that gets prosecuted for it, gets in trouble for it, unless you're leaning a certain direction. And so it's just, it's a huge, to me, it's horrible. You cannot trust if something or someone says so-and-so said this or this or this, here's proof. You can't trust the proof, because they not only do that, but we've talked about it earlier. They can project your image and then meld that computer speak onto that image, so it appears that you actually said or did this thing and you were never present, nor did you say or do anything of that sort. But now that is held as the witness against you, and it wasn't ever you in the first place. It's just messed up.
Do you remember probably about a year ago, right around this time, that I showed a scene from last year's America's Got Talent, where one of the acts, you know, America's Got Talent is a show where everybody comes out and does their talent and wins a big prize. So you have these guys that have generated a deal, and I showed this on this show about a year ago, where they took 3 people, Simon Cowell, Howie Mandel, and Terry Crews, put their face up on the monitors where everybody could see them, but then they played like an Elvis song or something. And it looked exactly, all the movements on their face and everything about them followed. I mean, even the expressions, the eyebrows, the crunching of the face, everything went right along with the song.
Man, I wish you had that up again. I wish you had it up again so we could make the point. But yeah.
Well, as a matter of fact, I just saw it the other day, but I hadn't thought about it until right now. we're talking about this. But yeah, I mean, and it was presented as a talent. This is what we do. This is what this company does.
Beware.
This stuff. You can't be a company like this and not make money. So people are using this technology.
Well,
We don't know anything about it.
I think the people that use that technology most are the ones that are using it against us, Yah's people, or people of a different thing. I do believe that the technology is being used in great advantage to bring about a certain narrative in our country and to eliminate those opposed to it.
Sure. Yeah.
And the AI is also gathering every bit of information they can.
That's right. That's like when I signed up for Chat GPT. They didn't ask real personal information or anything like that, but I did still have to fill out their deal going in there, just like creating an account for any software that you do, that type of thing. And while I'm doing it, I'm asking myself, I know this is for the show, but do you know who you're giving this information to? Because you're putting all of this in here, and I mean, it worked and everything, but still now my information is there in this company and the whole thing, and not like they couldn't find it somewhere else. But I don't know. I can't see I guess I would say I'm too much of a creative personality to actually use something that something else, even somebody else created it, to say somebody. But now you're saying something created, something wrote. And that is going to get real hard to acclimate to, except that, once again, I'm a big movie person, and this is throughout almost all movies anymore. I mean, what was it? I was watching an old movie or something that had no CGI, computer generated images. It had no CGI in it. But as I'm watching the movie, I'm thinking, my gosh, if this movie was made today, they'd fill it full of CGI. This was only made probably 15, 20 years ago, and I know they were using CGI back there, but I can't remember what movie it was now. But, it's like the progression of what we're doing is so exponential, and it's advancing so fast. There's absolutely no way we can keep track of it. And it's just like, even reading in Elon Musk here, he's already going past Google and Microsoft. Google and Microsoft, the two biggest technology companies in the world, and he's already generating things that makes their AI software look old.
Well, the rule of thumb is anything that they have out there that we have heard about or talked about, in reality, the technology is 50 years more advanced than even the most new thing out there, but it's hidden. But they or whomever already has that. So imagine Elon Musk is surpassing Microsoft, all of them, and yet in reality, it's 50 years more ahead than what they're even letting us know.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So we're being watched. I mean, think about the technology. Think about everything, the AI. So we're pretty much on camera everywhere we go. We've got cameras in our televisions and our computers that are watching us all the time, our phones. They also can look in our houses and see us moving about and do whatever. And everything we've said and done and purchased is being recorded in some massive computer So our life isn't even our own. And of course, it's all getting set up for, the things when we thought there are so many things that we're all being set up for, but it all has to be for the end to come. So, hey, there's a question for you. It the feet of the statue in Daniel, the iron mixed with clay, could it be AI embedded in flesh? Ooh, that's a pretty.
That's your area, not mine.
The AI. I would say everything's possible in anything we see in Scripture. There are layers of ultimate fulfillment. So we say, well, it's fulfilled in this and it's fulfilled in this, but that is a very good, I think, something to truly think about. Iron mixed with clay, technology mixed with flesh. We already have that, by the way. We already have that. I mean, you have your super soldiers, you have all sorts of things. You already are leaning towards that way, and more so than we could even know. So that's a good thought, Blazing.
Yeah. So a little bit earlier, you're talking about how they know everything. There's cameras everywhere. They're, taking information like what I even just put into Chat GPT, and now it's in there. It's documented in there, and it's in their databanks and all this kind of stuff. You remember? Did you see the movie Snowden?
No.
You didn't see it? Very, very revealing of what happened with this guy Snowden from the very beginning, that he was taken into the CIA and the NSA, and what they taught him and what he developed within their systems, and was even taken to court to testify that the NSA is gathering information on people behind the scenes that we don't know about. They were gathering information, even though the NSA said they weren't. Snowden knew that they were, and Snowden had developed a lot of their systems, the artificial intelligence systems that would gather all of this information and use it for the NSA. And that's the technology he took with him. So the whole big deal about Snowden revealing the technology behind our government system, that technology was the technology that the NSA said they didn't have. But they did have.
And we knew it.
Snowden revealed it.
We knew it. We just didn't have proof.
And then then our government made our country and the world think that Snowden was a bad guy because he was putting out government secrets. Oh yeah, they were government secrets, all right. Government secrets that
Government lies.
Absolutely didn't want anybody to know about because it affected us. And so that movie is great. It's really good. I think it's just called Snowden. You want to find out what's really back there. Well, there's a lot of movies like that. And they are coming out more and more and more and revealing stuff going on behind the scenes a lot anymore that we don't know about, that's there, that John talks about.
Yeah.
And so anyway, the technology is advancing so fast. I think that's what the scariest thing to me. We'll never go back to the way it was. I mean, obviously 2020 was a generated thing. We know all about that. It's the whole thing was generated and probably sophisticated through artificial intelligence and all that. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't there, but you have to guess. I just don't think that God had it planned that machinery was supposed to learn things. Who's in control? That's the real end result question on all of this information is who's in control? Is it us or is it the computer?
And our response should be laugh at those things that man tries to do to try to be God or to remove God or to trump Yah, because he's got it.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, you did a segment on laughter. God's the one that's laughing. I love the picture on Daryl's book of the red mark on God's forehead. That red mark is because God's going, oh, look at the people. Oh, man, look what they've done now. No, look what they did, that kind of thing. And so it's like, I agree. I agree. God's the one that, I don't know that he's laughing, though. But anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, we got to go. Sandy, this is always the best. I sure enjoy. I hate it when we don't do a show because I know there's things that we could have done and talked about. So anyway, I enjoy doing these shows with you real big time.
Me too. So
And
thank you everybody for watching. Huh?
Yeah, thank you everybody for watching. If you missed the show or you didn't get to see the whole thing, you want to tell somebody about it, go to our on-demand section on lambnetwork.tv, and you can watch all of our shows for a week after they've aired. And also there's a place where you can submit your prayers in this wonderful artificial world that we live in. And we'll pray over them all week long. So you can see Sandy on War Room on Mondays, and every once in a while on Let Us Reason Together and Walking in Spirit and Truth, and right here.
That's right.
That's right. All right. And I'll be on Let Us Reason Together tomorrow morning, Friday edition, tomorrow morning with Dave and Larry. So join us all, and thank you so much for joining with us today. Sandy, you want to give out a shout to God, and we'll take it out of here.
Well, hallelujah. We are so glad that you've joined us, and we are so glad that, guess what? Yah wins. We just simply enforce his victory. So, Father, we come before you, and we thank you for our week, and we thank you for our time, and we thank you that we can remember the things that you've already done to encourage us and to build our faith for the things that are going on around us. Let our trust always be in you. Let us fear not in anything that we do, but let us declare your victory and laugh a little, Father, because you are in control. We give it to you. We give it all to you, our day, our worries, our cares, our tomorrows. And we thank you in Yeshua's name. Amen.
We are richly blessed to bring you what we believe is the fullest, most diverse, yet up-to-date progressive teachings, discussion, and prayer programming you can find anywhere on this planet. Be sure to take the tour of the MessianicLambRadio.com website. I'm Susan Hugi, thanking you for joining us on the Messianic Lamb Video Network.